Good morning, welcome to Friday. We've made it the first week and our lessons are going to be a little bit different today. Let's have a quick look at our timetable. So first up we have our dictation from our spelling words this week. Then we're going to do our homework. Lesson 2 is going to be a chapter reading from Magnus Chase and going over the words and the comprehension questions. The Math Mentals Friday check also are all review questions. And we'll go over the science activities. Okay, well, first of all, for the dictation, how we're going to do that is I will read the sentences like we would in class. If I get too far ahead of you, just pause and catch up, but I'll read the sentences or part of the sentences twice as we go. This is going to be a little bit different, so we'll see how it works out. I'll just put that up on the screen while I'm doing the dictation. Okay, so if you want to head up your work today, and I've started the dictation page, Friday, we'll put in there week 1, Friday the 24th of April 2020. Don't forget to write your name up the top. That noise is just one of my puppy dogs mucking around. Lily, stop it, stop it. And then headed up dictation. And I've started the sentence there, so I knew where the document was. So I'll just leave that up while we get started, and then we'll continue on. All right, the first sentence for dictation is, the general emphasis in the community is to practice social distancing. The general emphasis in the community is to practice social distancing. Everyone is emphatic that normal life means staying 1.5 meters apart. So I'll read those two sentences again. The general emphasis in the community is to practice social distancing. Everyone is emphatic that normal life means staying 1.5 meters apart. You can't criticize this. But celebrate the mettle and loyalty. You can't criticize this, but celebrate the mettle and loyalty of people to do this. Sorry about those messages. You can't criticize this, but celebrate the mettle and loyalty of people to do this. Right, so what I might do now is read the first 3 sentences again. The general emphasis in the community is to practice social distancing. Everyone is emphatic that normal life means staying 1.5 meters apart. You can't criticize this, but celebrate the mettle and loyalty of people to do this. Okay. You can't sit near each other in restaurants. You can't sit near each other in restaurants. Because of the campaign by bureaucracy. Because of the campaign by bureaucracy. So that whole sentence is, you can't sit next to each other in restaurants because of the campaign by bureaucracy. Everyone agrees to ignore this at the local shops, academy, or school is a phenomenal mistake. So that sentence again is, everyone agrees to ignore this at the local shops, academy, or school is a phenomenal mistake. Even periodic contact in public could affect the vitality of older people. Even periodic contact in public could affect the vitality of older people if they get sick. All right, I'm going to read that again, the whole thing, and as we go through, you can check it and put in your punctuation. Check your punctuation. The general emphasis in the community is to practice social distancing. Everyone is emphatic that normal life means staying 1.5 metres apart. You can't criticise this, but celebrate the mettle and loyalty of people to do this. You can't sit near each other in restaurants because of the campaign by bureaucracy. Everyone agrees to ignore this at the local shops, academy, or school is a phenomenal mistake. Even periodic contact in public could affect the vitality of older people if they get sick. Okay, so you can go through and check that. Now, what we would normally do in class is you'd get your opportunity to check it and then you'd turn the page and we'd write a really good copy. You can do that if you want, or you can just use what I'm doing now to check your own work. All right, the general emphasis in the community. I'm just going to make these margins a little bit narrower. There we go. The general emphasis in the community is to practice social distancing. Everyone is emphatic that normal life means staying 1.5, and don't forget that's the English spelling of metres, the one we use, not the American ER, 1.5 metres apart. You can't criticise this, but celebrate the mettle and loyalty of people to do this. You can't sit near each other in restaurants because of the, we don't need a capital R there, restaurants because of the campaign by bureaucracy. Everyone agrees to ignore this at the local shops, academy, or school. Oh, sorry. Is a phenomenal mistake. Sorry. Oh, that was a mistake too. Phenomenal mistake. even periodic contact in public could affect the vitality of older people if they get sick. And that's telling me that that's not the effect, that there's a cause and an effect, but an effect with an A. Oh, I misspelled restaurants. No, Kiss wanted me to do a capital, but I'm not going to, so I'm going to ignore that. Okay. So check your work there. And our spelling words are, whoops, general, and then, I keep missing the E, the first letter. Emphasis, okay. The general emphasis in the community is to practice social distancing. Everyone is emphatic that normal life means staying 1.5 meters apart. You can't criticize this, but celebrate the mettle and loyalty of people to do this. You can't sit near each other in restaurants. Whoops. Because of the campaign. By bureaucracy. And everyone agrees to ignore this at the local shops. Academy is another word. Phenomenal is another word. Mistake, but periodic contact in public could affect the vitality of older people if they get sick. So they were our spelling words. Okay, what we're going to do now is move on to our homework booklet. And it's week 11. So you can just keep the same page that you've headed up and just write homework underneath, and we'll continue on with that. And I'll make that bigger so we can read it. Okay, so the actual comprehension we'll read through now and then we'll answer the questions. All right, so the word tsunami originally comes from the Japanese. It is used to describe seismic sea waves. These are waves that are caused by the movement of the Earth's layers. Tidal waves are a little bit different. They are caused by changes in the flow and the surge of the ocean. Tsunamis can be caused by several things: earthquakes, large landslides under the sea, volcanic and large meteors landing in the sea. Most tsunamis are caused by underwater earthquakes. Underwater earthquakes happen when the plate underneath the Earth's surface moves, so that one slips under another. Although this happens at a deep level, the energy of the earthquake passes through the water and causes the water level to rise above the sea level. Gravity causes the water to spread into a wave that travels at an incredible speed and with amazing power. Tsunamis can reach heights of 100 feet, which is 30 meters, and there's the RES spelling, and can travel even faster than a commercial jet. When it hits shallow water, the huge wave travels more slowly. The water from along the shore moves into the ocean, and then the massive wave crashes into the shore and keeps travelling inland. Much of the damage caused inland is not by one huge wave, it is because that the tsunami comes inshore like a strong and rapid tide. It lifts the local sea level at a swift rate. Okay, so we have three questions, and they are: how do underwater earthquakes happen? The earthquake happens at a deep level, so how does it affect the water? And there are three words in the text that mean the same as fast. Can you spot them? All right, so you can pause me there while you write those answers down. Right, so the first one, how do underwater earthquakes happen? If you've written something like, the plates happen when the plates underneath the Earth's surface move so that one slips under another. So the plates are shifting and then one slips under another. That's how the earthquakes happen. And the earthquakes happen at a deep sea level, so how does it affect the water? And if you've got an answer like, the energy of the earthquake causes the water levels to rise above sea level, gravity causes the water to spread into a fast moving wave. And then the three words that mean the same as fast are surge, meaning that it moves quickly, swift is another one, and rapid is the other. Okay, so on this part here, we're going to write the ending to these sentences. They have been made more complex, so even though is a complex joiner to join two sentences by adding a connective even though. So unfortunately, I'll have to check this when you send them in, but Stephen went to school even though. The rabbits had enough food even though it was a drought, there wasn't much grass, is an example of what you could put there. He finished watching the program even though he was told to go to bed 3 times. Molly slipped on the ice even though, and I enjoyed my lunch even though. This one over here, match the proverbs with their meaning by writing the correct letter in each box. And a proverb is an old saying. For an example of that is, a bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush. So meaning if you've actually caught a bird and it's in your hand, rather than the 2 that are the extra one that's in the bush, meaning sometimes it's better to take the opportunities that you've got instead of thinking, oh, I won't do that because I'll have that later. Okay, now the meanings down here are: A, appearances can be deceiving. Someone who helps when you're in need is a true friend. If you have a lot of helpers, it can't actually be unhelpful. And if you really want to do something, you'll find a way to do it. Often good can come out of bad things. Okay, so here one, too many cooks spoil the broth. And the answer is C. If you have a lot of helpers, it can actually be unhelpful. Where there's a will, there's a way, and it is D. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way to do it. Every cloud has a silver lining is E. Often good can come out of bad things, such as now when we're online learning and doing this, but it's teaching you to be really independent for high school. Don't judge a book by its cover, which is A. Appearances can be deceiving. And the last one, a friend in need is a friend indeed, which is B. Someone who helps you when you're in need is a true friend. Okay, then we go down to maths. And what we've got here is multiplying by zeros. Now, as we know, when we multiply by zeros, we add them onto the end if it's a whole number. But if it's a decimal, we jump that number of numbers, as there are zeros, over the decimal point. Okay, so there's 2 here, so we jump 7 over and 4 over. So the answer is 4,374.5. I'm thinking you probably need me to write that up to show you. So we've jumped the 7 over and the 4 over. 4,374.5. 7.372, there's 3 zeros, so we jump the 3 over, the 7 over, and the 2 over, so it becomes a whole number, 7,372. That one's easy. There's 3 zeros here, so we jump the 5, the 8, and the 9, so it becomes 20,589. Here there's 2 zeros, so we jump the 7 and the 3, so it becomes 2,173.2. Here, 2 zeros on the 100, we jump this one over and that one over, so it becomes 400.5. Number 6, 3 zeros, we jump the 7, the 0, and the 3, so it becomes 9,703.4, so the decimal goes in here. Number 7, we've got 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3, so it becomes a whole number, 65,678, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so it becomes 2,050.2, and the decimal goes in here. Okay, with the problem solving, so for each section, just head it up a little bit. So for this one, problem solving, and write 1. So Maya raised $350, $15 for an animal charity. Josh raised $186, Zach $115, and Naomi $220, and Erin $114. What was the average amount raised? So the way that we find average, and average is also called mean, is that we add up all the numbers and then we divide by how many there are. So here we have 315, 186, and 115, and 220. So, and 114. I'm going to put that at the top to make sure I don't run out of room. So we add that up. 5 and 5 is 10, and 6 is 16, and 4 is 20. Put down the 0 and plus 2. 8 and 2 is 10, and 1's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Put down the 5 and plus 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $950. And then we have to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and $950 divided by 5. Now we'll see if we're right. 5 goes into 1 once with 4 over. 5 goes into 45, 9, and a 0. And the answer is 190. Now there's another way to do division which will help us move on to long division when we go back to school, and I'll show you that later. We're actually doing a bit of a shortcut doing it that way. We've got to get used to dividing by double digits, but we'll move on to that. Then the next question is exactly the same. The animal charity is trying to raise 2,000. How much more do they need? So I'm sorry, that's a takeaway. So 2,000 take away the 190. So we go 0 take away 0 is 0. 0 take away 9, we can't do that. So we go to the next number. 0, we can't borrow there, so we cross that out and make it a 1. Now we would add the 1 on here, but we know we're going to need it straight away, so we make that a 9 and pop it over there. So 10 take away 9 is 1. 9 take away 1 is 8, and 1 take away. So we need another $810. Okay, for the next one. So convert these fractions by multiplying or dividing each number. So what we're doing is, the example there has 1/3, and we've multiplied both by 2, so that becomes 2 and 6. We're going to divide both of these by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, 10 divided by 2 is 5, so 3/5. 8/12 divided by 4 is 2/6. 16/20 is 4/5. We're multiplying by 2 here, so that means that's 6/8, and we're dividing by 10 here. Just take off the zeros, becomes 3/4 or 3/4. Okay, now the area of something, which means not just the perimeter of the outside, but the whole area inside, as though we're going to tile it or carpet it, is the side multiplied by the side for the square. So we go 6 centimetres multiplied by 6 centimetres, and it's 36 centimetre squared. So when you write your answer, make sure you write it as a squared. So you put a little 2 over the centimetre like that. Then this one here for a rectangle is 3 centimetres by 12 centimetres, which is 36 centimetres squared. And this is 8 centimetres multiplied by 6 centimetres, which is 48 centimetres squared. Okay. And then we only have 4 more. Is it 4? Yeah, 4 more takeaways here. So what I'll do is I'll expand the screen so I can show you. Okay, so 23,682, take away 3,190. And we do this, we start over at the ones. 2 take away 0 is 2, 8 take away 9 we can't do, so we go to 6, cross it out, make it a 5, and pop the 1 on the 8. 18 take away 9 is 9, 5 take away 1 is 4, 3 take away 3 is 0, and then there's the 2. So that answer is 20,492. Next one, 32,965, take away 5,172. So 5 take away 2 is 3, 6 take away 7 we can't do, cross out the 9, pop it on there. 16 take away 7 is 2 8s is 16. So this is only 7, so that's a 9. 8 take away 1 is 7. 2 take away 5 we can't do. Cross that out, make it a 2, put it on there. 12 take away 5 is 7, and then it's 2. 27,793. Okay, so the next one, and I'm just going to scroll it up so we can see it, is 56,821, take away 1,836. 1 take away 6 we can't do, we cross it out and make it a 1. So 11 take away 6 is 5. 1 take away 3 we can't do, cross out the 8, make it a 7, turn that into 11. 11 take away 3 is 8. And 7 take away 8 we can't do, cross out the 6, make it a 5, pop that on the 17. 17 take away 8 is 9. 5 take away 1 is 4, and then the 5. So that's 54,985. And then the last one, 26,424, take away 5,447. 4 take away 7 we can't do, so we go to the next number, make that a 1, pop that on there. 14 take away 7 is 7. 1 take away 4 we can't do, we cross out the 4, make it a 3, pop it on there. 11. 11 take away 4 is 7. 3 take away 4 we can't do, cross out the 6, make it a 5, pop the 1 on the 3. 13 take away 4 is 9. 5 take away 5 is 0, and 2. So 20,977. Okay, and that's it for our homework. So the next lesson will be the Magnus Chase. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you think that's worth doing, or if that was a little bit too tricky with the dictation or the homework. And I'll see you in lesson 2.